I promise you guys, I did not call the car and we did not coordinate what we're going to wear. This is the Supersonic Red 2025 Toyota Camry LE, which, by the way, is the base trim level with the lowest MSRP and the highest gas mileage. And thanks to Gettle Toyota of Charlotte County, Florida, I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out from the exterior as far as the design, see what powers up this thing, walk around, see the capacities of this vehicle, and take it for a test drive at the end of this video. So if that's something you enjoy watching, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And now let's get back to this. So this newest generation Toyota Camry just came out a few months ago, this year, and they completely changed everything about this vehicle. Well, everything without the overall shape of this vehicle, because when you look at it from a distance, you can definitely still say that it is a Camry. Now, I've already filmed the XSE, which is the top of the line model, and the SE, which is the sportier version of it, kind of midway through the lineup. Well, this is the base trim level. What's interesting about it, that not only it has the base MSRP that's less than $28,000, it also has the highest gas mileage, 51 miles per gallon combined. Well, why is it? Well, first of all, it doesn't have all the equipment that the other ones have, so it's the lightest of them all. It also has the smaller wheels. All of that combined results as the best gas mileage. Let's start with the design of this vehicle. I like it. I like this hood with those two grooves right on the side, the big nose with the Toyota logo up front. As far as the lights, we have the bi-LED headlamps with the incandescent turn signals and the LED daytime running lamps. And scrolling down here, I like this setup. Nice and sporty, kind of reminds me of a Lexus a little bit. We have the air curtains on the side, lots of open spaces to allow the air to get to the engine compartment to help with the cooling. And we have this bottom fascia, the bottom portion of it, finished in the same color as the rest of the vehicle, which, by the way, if you are wondering what it is, they call it the Supersonic Red. It looks really nice and shiny. Let's see what powers up this thing. Powering up this 2025 Camry is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder dual overhead cam 16-valve with variable valve timing intelligence and variable valve timing intelligence on the electric motor by the intake side. Now, the total horsepower for the system, including the electric motors, 225 for the front-wheel drive, 232 for the all-wheel drive. The internal combustion engine produces 183 horsepower by itself. It is paired up with the ECVT transmission and, like I mentioned before, front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. What else we have here? This ugly prop stick on the side. We have some sound insulation underneath the hood. That should make up for some nice and quiet ride, and we're definitely going to check that out at the end of this video. So check this out, guys. As far as the shape of it, overall shape, it reminds me of this previous generation one, which is still nice, sporty, elegant. It's almost the same as far as the dimensions. We have the 193.5 inches as far as the length, 56.9 inches as far as the height, and 72 inches as far as the width of this vehicle. That's without the mirrors, of course. Now, if you're looking at the standard equipment on this, you have 16-inch wheels. So that's smaller than we've seen on the SE or the XSE. We had the 18 and 19s on those, but they look pretty good. As far as the tires, we have 205/65 on 16-inch rim, McPherson struts, all independent suspension all around, and all-wheel disc brakes. Now, as far as the design of it, we have the same color on the mirror caps as the rest of the vehicle. Turn signals included, blind spot assist, part of the base package as well. We have the keyless entry system. What was added to this one was the convenience package, which allows you to lock and unlock the door without pressing any of the buttons on the key itself. Side skirt in the same color as the rest of the car. Everything else around the windows is blacked out. Now, I mentioned 51 miles per gallon, so multiply it by 13 because that's the size of the tank, 13 gallons, and we have over 650 miles range on one fuel tank. Beat that. And of course, the brand new design in the back as well. Starting right on top, we have the shark fin antenna, nicely sloped glass, dirt brake light right inside of the vehicle, and we have the big chrome Toyota logo, Camry spelled out half on one side. HEV, hybrid electric vehicle. LE is the trim that we're looking at right at this moment. And here are the brand new tail lamps. Now, this is a combination. You have the LED tail lights incandescent turn signals, LED reverse lights, and then of course you have the reflector lights right here at the bottom of the bumper. Now the bottom of the bumper is in this matte black, no visible exhaust, although if you look really closely you can see one sticking out from the back. And now let's see how much room we have in the trunk. Now, by the way, the trunk can also be opened on the remote, so you just basically press the button on the remote, boom, it opens up. Let's see how much space we have. And we have quite a bit of it, because that's 15 cubic feet of space, just about the same as the new Kia K5 and Honda Accord. Now we also can fold down the seats. You pull on these levers, it releases either the 60 part or the 40 part of the seat split. Underneath the floor mat or the cargo mat, and underneath this floor, you have the tools to remove the tire, and you do have the temporary use spare tire. On the top, you also have the emergency lockout. In case you get locked up in this vehicle, you can pull on this lever and that releases the trunk lock. And before we get inside, let's take a look and see what's going on the rear door panels. This is all hard plastic material. You have this polished aluminum looking trim. There's plastic, of course. We have the window control, a speaker at the bottom, a little bit more storage. The only padded part is this armrest right here, and that's not very soft either. On the interior, because it's a base trim, you have the cloth wrapped seats. Nothing too special about it, although I like the design, and the seats seem like this is a durable fabric. In the middle, we have the armrest that folds down with 2 cup holders and 3 seat belts. Both seats, driver and passenger, have some seat back storage, and in the middle console, yes, you have your own vans for the rear passengers, as well as the USB Type-C and the USB Type-A, 2 different adapters. You also have this quite big bump in the middle there that's going to limit some space for the third middle passenger. And let me jump inside, see if I have any room in there. Shouldn't be an issue getting inside of this vehicle, as it's only 5.4 inches off the ground. But once you get in, wow, tons of space. I'm 6 feet tall, almost 6 feet tall. This seat is adjusted to my regular driving position, about 2 inches, maybe even more, in front of my knees before I would hit it. The feet go nice and deep in the footwell, so the sitting position is comfortable. On top of my head, I have about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches, so no shortage of room there, and plenty of shoulder room as well. The only one thing is, if there were 3 of the same size as myself, people sitting in here, that third person, would not be very comfortable. But plenty of room for 4 passengers inside this cabin. Let's see what's going on in the front. And as always, before we get in, let's check out the sound of the closing door. Okay, I would give it probably about 6 out of 10. It's better than average, but it's not the best. Let's see what's going on here in the front door panel. Now, this is softer material than we've seen in the back, and we have this nice inlay that's matching the fabric on the interior. We also have the window mirror and lock controls, or part of this standard package LE, and then we have more storage at the bottom of the door. Now, power seats, this is a nice surprise for the base trim level. And then the seats, take a look, nicely trimmed. I like the design of it. A little bit of a bolstering here to keep you in place. Overall, nice and comfortable setup. On the left hand side of the steering wheel, we have the automatic lights, traction control, dimmer, opening for the trunk, opening for the gas door, and tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Let me jump inside, we'll see the rest of it. Check it out, guys. This is the interior of this brand new Toyota Camry. This is the base trim. Let's see what we have. Now, normally I don't like piano black, but this trim kind of fits in the design of this vehicle. Also, on top of this dashboard, we have some soft touch material, which is a big plus in my book. And at the bottom, you have the same fabric as is used on the side panel. So that's looking really good from the design standpoint. We have the smaller screen. This is only an 8-inch screen. We'll get back to it. Big steering wheel. Now, it's not leather wrapped. There's no contrast stitching or anything like this, but it's thicker in the right places. It seems like it's a solid deal here. And on the left hand side, we have the back button, phone button, and the controls, what's going on in the instrument cluster. We also have the volume button and the voice control. On the right hand side, yes, the adaptive cruise control is standard on this vehicle. We have the regular cruise control. Adaptive cruise control, of course, comes standard. We have different modes, seek and track for the media, and then Toyota logo right in the middle. Digital instrument cluster on the left-hand side. You have the temperature. Right-hand side gives you the fuel gauge. Also right on the top corners, we have the temperature and the time. So 5 miles at the bottom, that's the odometer, and 205 miles is the range on this vehicle right now. This is the typical setup for the hybrid. You can see whether the vehicle is charging, going on eco mode, or taking power from the hybrid system. You also have the speedometer and the gear indicator right in the middle, and that's where it says no message. That's where we can customize it and see what else is here. So plethora of safety feature in this Toyota Sensing 3.0. Now we have the lane departure assist, blind spot monitoring, pre-collision sensing. Now we have the proactive driving assist, and then we have some backup sensors in here. Oh, this is the rear cross traffic alert. And then save exit assist, road sign assist, and then we have the vehicle settings and the meter settings, so you can customize that if you'd like to. Go back here, no messages, back to the safety features. Now we have the trip. Then A, B, we have the energy monitor, saying that the engine is charging the battery right now, and the tire pressure monitor going up. Here's your media sources. So we have several of them. We'll go through them in a bit. Adaptive cruise control, and the compass is another feature in here. And then we have this eco, just showing us that it's 5.9 miles per gallon, far off from the 51 they're promising, but this vehicle has been sitting and idling basically since it came here to the dealership. So take a look at this. This is your newest infotainment system. Of course, it's the same system as we've seen on other Toyota models, except it's packaged in a much smaller screen. This is only an 8-inch screen. The SE and the XSE had the bigger screens. Now, the SE actually was upgraded with a bigger screen, and the XSE had it as a standard, I think 12.5 or 12-inch screen. Anyways, what's in this system? So you have the cloud-based navigation system. You can subscribe to it if you want to. Here's your media. As far as the sources, you have the regular radio, which is FM, AM, and Sirius XM. Then you also have the Apple Music, Amazon Music here. You can connect your phone via Bluetooth. You can also connect your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay wirelessly as well. That's standard feature in here. Vehicle settings as far as the climate control. So we have some options in here. We're in auto right now, AC auto. You can set it up over here. You can also set it up down at the bottom. I'll show you that where. Here's some options for eco, heat, and cool. Go back, trip information, vehicle alert, and here's your settings, and customize a lot of features on this vehicle. We're not going to go through it because that would just take too much time. Here's your dual zone climate control. No heated seats, no ventilated seats on this particular one. You have the hazard lights down at the bottom. You have a standard wireless charging pad, as well as the USB Type A and 2 USB Type C ports. Some storage right here in the middle. Regular shifter, okay? You can move it to the sports mode, and that if you'd like to. Now, of course, these are simulated gears because we have the ECVT here, but we do have 3 different drive modes. That's eco, normal, and sport. Brake hold, you can set it up for EV mode and set the electronic parking brake. Before we go any further into the console, let's take a look and see how the rear view camera looks. Okay, well, takes up the entire screen. It has active trajectory lines. The display of it is pretty decent. You have 2 different angles. So, I mean, for the base vehicle, that's what I would expect. Nothing else, nothing more. Well, going back, there's a console that opens up. We have more storage. We also have the 12-volt power outlet, and that's actually pretty deep right here on top. On the mirror itself, we have the Homelink system, so you can program 3 different devices. These LED lights, and then we have the SOS button, warning sticker that Toyota's tracking you until you call them and tell them don't do that no more. We have the sunglasses holder, no sunroof as a standard equipment, but we have the illuminated mirrors. on the visors and extendable visors in here, which is a big plus in my book. I think it's got plenty features for being a base trim. Now let's talk about pricing and take it for a spin. For 2025 model years, Toyota offer 4 different trim levels. That's LE, SE, XLE, and XSE. Each of them can be configured as a front-wheel drive, or for $1,525, you can have an all-wheel drive. The LE starts at $28,400, SE at $30,700, XLE at $33,400, and XSE at $34,600. Now, in typical Toyota fashion, there's plenty of options that you can add to these vehicles, and I definitely would refer you to a Toyota website, because if we were to go through every single one of them, it would take all day, and I don't have it. Guys, let's take it for a spin. I drove the SE and the XSE. I don't think this is going to drive any different. Well, the tires are different. They have a little bit bigger sidewall and a little bit smaller rim. Making a circle right here, turning radius is very good on this Camry. It's nice and quiet, but this one has the noise absorbing windshield, but not the side windows. On the XSE, you have the side windows that are noise absorbing as well, which makes the cabin even quieter. But this one is not bad. And stop right here and see the acceleration. I like it. Somebody asked me if I like the Toyota Camry, and I definitely do. I like this powertrain better than the previous generation, non-hybrid and hybrid. Well, the TRD was just a little bit different. I mean, the V6 was really nice, really smooth, no longer available. We're going to take this on the road and see how it handles in more of a real-life situations than here on the parking lot. And going on this road right here, let's do a few twists and turns. Okay, so the suspension is not as soft as the older Camrys were. The older Camrys, once you have the suspensions, you were like all over the place. This one is soft, but stable. Now I'm going to put it in the sport mode. I was in a normal mode before. Right, so the tires make a bit of a noise. Maybe it's because of the side windows don't have the noise insulation, that it's more prominent here than it was on the other models. Well, but there's nothing that a loud radio won't fix. So, I mean, if that really bothers you, crank up the radio and no tire noise would come into the cabin. But in all seriousness, it is a little bit louder. You can hear it a little bit more on this model than on the higher trims. All right, well, let's see if we can get it up to maybe like 40, 45. 50. Okay. Not bad at all. Nice and smooth. You don't hear that ECVT. Let's put it in the sport mode. Let's see how those simulated gears work. Now, technically, we're in the third gear, forward, fifth, back to forward and accelerate. Hey, you can even have some fun with this Camry. I'm really digging this powertrain. And guys, if you can get 50 miles per gallon, on average, 51 miles per gallon in both between city and the expressway, this is a winner. Now, some of you were asking me, because I've done some videos on the brand new K5, and it seems like there's a lot of cross-shopping going on between Kia and Toyota right now, which it used to be Honda and Toyota all the time. Now, the Honda really played it safe in the last generation Accord, and it's okay. I mean, nothing too special in my opinion. Kia K5, on the other hand, I like it. I like the new design of the Kia. I like the driving dynamics. I like the electronics and what they've done with it. But this has the Toyota brand, the reliability, the dependability behind it. And it's really not that far off. Yes, you have the smaller screen than on the K5 and Sonata. Okay. Drive of it, I think I like this better as far as the drive versus the K5. even that ECVT transmission, which Toyota calls it electronically controlled continuously variable transmission. And I know some people argue that it's not the same as the regular CVT. I don't get into the technicalities of it. That's what they call it. That's what I call it. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all as far as the feel of it. It doesn't have any of the drony, whiny noises some of the older CVTs have. Obviously, the great gas mileage, pretty nice, smooth acceleration. I have a good visibility on this vehicle. The good part about it, guys, it's 28.4 is the starting MSRP. Yeah, this one has a package on it, the convenience package, which I think is like $600. I'm going to list everything in the description of this video so you can see what I'm driving. But there's only 2 items that were added to it. So still, you know, around $30,000, you have really nicely equipped base model. And I would definitely suggest that you come and take a look at this base Camry if you are shopping for a midsize sedan. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you learned 1 or 2 things. And if you did, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel. Help me with growing it by hitting that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.